First one on primetime CBS in like 3 decades.
Just all the way around, this fight is very exciting for me. When you talked about it being on CBS primetime, that is awesome. You know, I'm so glad that it's not just basketball and it's not just football anymore, but it's my sport. It's boxing on primetime, and then I have a primetime opponent in Keith Thurman. He's a very good fighter. We've known each other for a long time, so we've seen each other both in and out of the ring, and just a lot of excitement all the way around.
And talk about the challenge that he presents. I mean, you're obviously going hard this far out for a reason. Mm-hmm. I mean, how big of a challenge is that?
Keith Thurman is the biggest challenge of my career so far. A lot of speed, a lot of quickness, a lot of power. He's a talented kid, and we look to go in there and just outmatch him in every part of aspect of everything I just said. In every aspect that I just said, we're more powerful than him, more quick, faster, quicker, stronger. Every bit. I expect to dominate from the beginning of this fight to the end of this fight.
You talk about you already have 2-time world champion around here, and that's a predictor for the future.
Yeah.
I mean, so you've got to. That's a lot of pressure.
It's not pressure because it's a goal. If you want your goal, if you want it to accomplish something, you do whatever it takes to get there and accomplish that goal. So my dad's idea to put up 2-time champion, but my dad has been saying that ever since I lost the IBF title. He's said 2-time world champion, and that's what we look forward to. I have a long career ahead of me, and I look forward to becoming a 2-time, 3-time, 4-time. But it starts March 12th.
Is that the motivation?
Yes.
The main motivation to get your title back?
It's so hard to say with this fight. I've really wanted this fight for a very long time. I can't tell you the last time I wanted to fight someone as much as I want to fight Keith, and it's not from a personal standpoint of me hating him or disliking him or anything like that. It's simply me wanting to be the best competitor that I can be, and I know that this challenge that's put in front of me March 12th is going to bring the best out of me, and I'm looking forward to that.
Do you think the smarter guy wins a fight rather than
Yes.
the better fighter?
Yes, I think the smarter fighter is the better fighter. So the smarter fighter will win this fight. I plan to throw the right punches at the right time, excellent defense, and just carry this fight through with the plans that are set before me in the corner.
Shawn, your fight is one of 3 huge fights coming up in the boxing world, along with Canelo Khan and Pacquiao and Bradley's 3rd fight. But is your fight with Thurman the best out of the 3 because you're both in your prime and people do not know who's going to win the fight?
I would probably say that's probably the difference with my fight and those other fights. There's no one's outmatched at any part of this fight. You know, I think with those other 2 fights, there's something you can pick out. You can't pick out anything in this fight. So my job is to come in and show you what you weren't able to pick out.
Skill versus will. Steve asked if this was going to come down to smarts, but what about skill and will? Is it going to come down to who's the more skilled guy or who wants it?
You know what? For a long time, when I imagined this fight, I always imagined. You know, I've known Keith for a long time. He's a very focused guy, very driven, and he has a huge heart and desire for what he wants. And so for a long time, I always envisioned us going down to the last seconds of the fight, and we're duking it out, and we're just going as hard as we can. I still see that being a possibility in this fight. You know me, I'm not going to back down, and I expect that he won't back down. So this is going to be a great fight.
Are you the best puncher he's ever faced? Because there's a lot of talk about his punching power, but you can punch as well.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm the best overall fighter that he's faced up until this point.
Not just power, but
all the way around.
Shawn, do you enjoy this high-tech training regimen that you're going through to get ready for this fight?
You know what?
You've been through it already, but
you know what? When
different.
I come in here and I'm focused and I'm motivated and I'm open to everything that's being presented to me by my dad, my other coach, no matter what it is, I'm going to accept it and be willing to do whatever they need me to do. Today we got more technical than we have in the last week. and which was awesome for me. I'm able to slow things down and see things the way they want me to see them. We turned on the computer and the TVs, able to see more right there, correct some things in my mind, and just kind of map it out in my mind, you know. So I do enjoy this high tech stuff. I know it works.
Your dad was talking about maps. Drew what, map when he was 8?
Yeah.
10?
Yes.
He followed it, he became world champion.
Yeah, but
Same
that,
thing now, right?
right?
Same,
Yeah. But
same map.
that was
same-
that was in reference to what I presented to him when he was a kid. I drew a map and I told him before they went to their tournament, if you follow what I'm drawing here, you'll get to the goal. And so when he won the tournament, after that, the light comes on. Oh, follow the map, follow the preparation, follow the rules and regulations, follow everything here and do it this way, and this is my result. So that continues on, you know, into the older division of amateur boxing, to the national tournaments, to the Olympics, you know, on to the professional ranks.
Is this map a little more difficult to follow, to get ready?
I think, you know what, for a long time my dad always asked us to write down our goals, and write down what we need to do to accomplish those goals. So even now, he's not asking me to write them down, but the map is the same. The goals and the preparation, everything is the same. So, you know, we have our hard days where, you know, I'm just not listening or whatever it may be. But at the end of the day, it's like we prayed in the corner today. I said, God, you make this work. You always make it work. And we know that. I know that when it's game time, we'll be right there, right alongside each other, making it happen.
How did beating Broner change you after the fight? You're so much more recognizable now. I'm sure it's given you more incentive to work harder even.
You know what?
But has it changed you a lot?
Beating Adrian Browner has not changed me. The motivation and the drive is still there because we talk about climbing the ladder. Adrian Browner was here, but Keith Thurman is here. So beating Adrian lets me know that I beat him, so now I got to beat this guy. You know what I mean? So there isn't any more or less motivation coming from beating Adrian, but I definitely I felt good about what I was able to do that night. The part of how I was able to compete that night gives me confidence that I can do it again and again and again, and I'm looking forward to it. Turn the cell phones off.
Did beating Adrian Broner do anything for your confidence, increase it, or was it always the same before?
Definitely increased it, and then it increased my motivation and my drive and confidence from a mental standpoint. It's so cool to be able to watch a fight, know what I was thinking, what I was doing, and see what my dad was saying in the corners just actually come into play. So that's a fight that you watch before this fight, and you watch. I was so focused in that fight. I was able to do what my dad was asking me to do. I have to have that same, every movement, everything that I did, it's got to be the same. It's got to be the same. And something like that is something that I push into myself before another fight.
So that fight was the most pivotal fight for you, the most important fight in your career up to this point, or was it another one?
A combination of all of them. Yes, definitely a combination of all of them. You learn something in every fight, you know. That's what you're supposed to do. I think at 26, 1-1, I'm supposed to learn something in every 28 of those fights. So you go back to Kilbrook, and I learned that how I need to pay attention to my corner and do what they're asking me to do. And then you fast forward to Eric Bonet, where my dad was saying, we're just going to jab this guy. We're going to feint him and jab him, and we're going to set him up. And it worked beautifully. I was able to get him to the body and go to the corner. And my dad saying, you know, he's ready to go. Whatever my dad said, I said, body, you got to go to the body. And my dad said, go to the body. And we set it up and we got him out of there. Working together, you know what I mean? So, and then you fast forward to Adrian Browner. I was able to, you know, stay focused for a majority of that fight, put it down the way my dad was asking me to, not let up on any part, the speed, the quickness, being aggressive as always. And then those little things that I just mentioned, you take into this next fight with you. And I look to be very good March 12th.
Shawn, are you worried about anybody trying to follow the Kilbrook game plan and hold you and try to smother your offense?
That's always going to be a game plan that anyone's going to implement against me. It's understood. I have speed. I have quickness. I have power. I have a lot of all of that. and sometimes there's only one way to stop me, and that's to hold me. And I learned from Kilbrook that it's my job to do whatever I can, whether that's getting the assistance of the ref, letting him know that he needs to step in, or taking matters into my own hands, doing whatever I have to do to move my way throughout those holds and keep it moving.
Was it easier coming down to this camp because you didn't have to make 144? So actually now you're at the regular welterweight limit.
Yeah.
So was it easier to prepare for Keith than actually having to cut more weight for Brown?
You know what? The weight was never a problem against Browner. My dad actually he says, man, they want you to make 144 for this fight. All right. And then I kind of walked away, you know, that's how I try to handle things. Is you don't add onto it, you just take it for what it is and make it happen, you know. So making weight for this fight won't be a problem. I'm fully confident I'll be strong as ever, and just full of life and energy.
Shawn, are there any differences between Shawn Porter, the man inside and out the ring, from when you were a 25, 26-year-old first-time world champion to 28 now, been in several big fights?
You know what? At 25, 26, I would not have known that I would mature the way I have. I would change the way that I have in some aspects. But the 28 Shawn Porter looks at the 25 or 26-year-old Shawn Porter and says, you know, you did it back then, but you're much better now. You know, so I just know in my heart, in a lot of ways, I'm better than I was even at 25 or 26 when I had the belt.
Thanks for your time, Shawn.
You got it.
Thanks.
All good?